In my last video that I recorded and haven't edited yet, I was talking about like interesting similarities or things that I've noticed that kind of parallel between not particularly related languages, which is always something I just find inherently very cool. And I was talking about like French and German and Spanish. Today, I've thought of another one that I forgot to mention in that video that I think is equally cool. And this is a similarity between Welsh and the Romance languages. So French and Spanish are the ones I'm vaguely familiar with. This is so cool. Basically, French and Spanish and Welsh, and I assume Italian probably, all have a very different word order when it comes to adjectives than English does. We pretty much always put attributive adjectives before the noun they describe. So it's the red house, right? Not the house red. Well, in French, Spanish and Welsh, it's the other way round. In Welsh, for example, you would say a bus mawr, the big bus. So there, bus, mawr, big. The adjective comes after. And same in French and Spanish, almost all of the time. What's interesting is, in French and Spanish, there are a select few adjectives. And I think, if I remember rightly from what my friend said to me once, who knows a lot more about French than I do, it's the categories of beauty, age, size, and one other thing. Adjectives in those categories, for some reason, go before the noun. So in French, for example, les petits pois, little peas, literally, but the petit comes before the noun, like it does in English, but unlike how it normally does with most adjectives in French. And similarly in Spanish, I was corrected recently because I was testing out my Spanish in the lab, because one of our lab members is Colombian, and I said, tengo un plan bueno, and she was like, un buen plan, because the adjective buen or bueno comes before the noun, because it's, you know, beauty, age, size, and quality. Now, interestingly, in Welsh, there are also a very select few adjectives that are exceptions to the normal rule and which go before the noun. They don't exactly map one-to-one with which adjectives do this in the Romance languages, but some of them do, like the adjective old, for example, hen. In the Welsh national anthem, for example, it's called my hen wlad fy nhadau, the old land of my fathers, literally, hen wlad, old land. It's English adjective order, which Welsh normally doesn't have, but with these select few adjectives it does. And another example is second and third. If I say my first language, it's fy iaith cyntaf, but my second language is fy ail iaith. And now that I think of it, I think that's the same in Spanish as well. La primera vez, the first, like, ordinal numbers used as adjectives go before the noun. The similarities are crazy. This is so cool.